there, and welcome to the Locker Room. You know this is our special edition and series of messages dedicated to B. Rapoport, his memory, and how he has impacted the lives of so many. And I've invited another very special human being named Larry Strong. I've known Larry for a very long period of time now in our great company, and he is part of our Legacy Award and part of our leadership team that helps our people rise up and become great leaders. And I've asked Larry to be with me here today in this locker room to share with you what B. Rapoport meant to him and what he learned from B. Rapoport. And so I'm going to let him talk to you guys right now. Larry, good to see you.
Hello, brother.
Glad
Good
to
see you,
brother.
man.
Good to see you. Good to see you.
Eric, I'll tell you, in all sincerity, I really have to, before I talk about B, I have to just talk about you for a second.
Well, let's keep that to a minimum,
I will.
But I so appreciate
I will.
that.
You're one of the greatest men that I've met. We're so proud to have you part of the organization. I've learned a great deal from you. But this, after all, is about B and not you, so, let's go to B.
Thank you.
As I shared with you, of all of the people that have had the privilege of sharing some thoughts about Bernard, I probably am the person that knew Bernard the least amount of time. I will never forget my first encounter with him, though. As you know, he had done his homework on me, and I had some history with Torchmark with some of our sister companies. And when I had a chance to meet him, when I was privileged to come to work for the company in 2002, from one of our sister companies, when I first met him, he came up and said, "Sonny, why haven't you and I been working together for the past 15, 20 years?" And of course, he put me immediately at ease.
Yes.
And because I was in awe of Mr. Rapoport.
He did do that, didn't he?
He was a phenomenal. He was a master at that. And so that was my first encounter with Bernard. And again, having not been around him as intimately and as long as many of you have, and certainly, while I don't regret that, I try not to have any regrets in my life. I certainly would have been additionally blessed to have more time with Bernard. But I learned a couple things from Bernard. One was actually it has to do with the fact that I really didn't know him very long. And that is that if you're truly a great leader, you don't have to know people very long for them to have a very distinct impression of who you are and what you're about. Okay. And that made an impact on me. Okay. I think sometimes we associate relationships with length of time, right. The impact on people with how long we've been around people. And while that certainly is partially true, Bernard impressed on me that you can have a dramatic impact on a person's life in a very short amount. Wow,
I like that.
And so that was a good takeaway for me. I think the other thing that I learned from Bernard is that, there's an old saying that you can lead a horse to water, but you can't make him drink. And Bernard didn't believe that. In fact, Bernard was convinced, in my opinion, that he could not only, that you could lead him to the water, and that you could take your own face and put it down into the nice crystal clear blue water, not because he was dragging you, kicking and screaming, but because of the fact that B knew better than anybody else how to get you really thirsty. How to get you really thirsty. And I think it was one of the keys to his success, and certainly the keys to his legacy is here we are after his graduation to the next reality for him, and we're still thirsty for Bernard. We're still thirsty to learn how to become better people, better leaders. We're still thirsty to learn and to desire to have a more important legacy in our own right. And so,
wow, Larry,
I think in the final analysis, those two things were a great impression.
When you came into my life, and I lose track of time.
It's been a while.
Yeah, I lose track. I remember knowing from the very first time meeting you that you were a beautiful person. Your heart was pure, and that your desire was to be helpful. You had no real personal agendas.
Appreciate it.
Yeah. And so when I think about what you said about B, that he had this ability to make you feel, I crossed the convention stage. I'd never met him, and he looked at me and he said, "One day you're going to be a great state agent." He gave me something to live up to, and it was instant, just like you said.
Absolutely. He had the capacity, I'm sure others have said this, but he had the capacity when you were in his presence. You felt like you were the only person on the planet.
Guys, you heard from a very special guy.
Love you
I
guys.
want to thank you for being there. Larry, thank you for being here. Love you,
man.
Mwah.
Thank you.
Love you, man. Good stuff.
If you've enjoyed and feel that the Daily Locker Room has served as an inspiration in your life, why not take this moment and do the same for a friend by sending them the daily message?